So this is an introductory video on probability. Probability is one of those subjects that's part of the exam, the FE exam. And I'm looking at the sheet here, and it says that it's about 4 to 6 questions, which is not bad. It's not something that electrical engineers deal with on a day-to-day basis, granted, but there are a few basics that you need to understand, that you need to know in order to steal those 4 to 6 questions. So when you go to your handbook, you can search probability. So there's a couple pages on it. You'll see some definitions, some formulas, and we're going to do problems on them, but I just wanted to kind of have an introduction on it overall, generally speaking, what we're dealing with here. So there's some, it's not just about finding the probability of something. The probability subject is also pretty wide, and it involves also statistics specifically. So here you see mean, median, and mode. So those are things that you need to be able to differentiate given a function, being able to identify the mean, the median, and the mode. We have here also on the right hand side definitions like permutations and combinations. So a permutation is a particular sequence where order is important. A combination, order is not considered, is a set itself without reference to order. So these are things that you need to go over, maybe look into it, and you can see here that the formula for permutation and the formula for combination, the only difference between them is this R factorial. So you can either memorize it or when you look into it, just big picture, you can see here that if you have a number of different permutation of n distinct object taken R at a time, this is the formula right here. When it comes to, and order is important here, and we're going to do examples so it'll make more sense to you. Combination, same thing, but here you got to multiply by R factorial. All right, moving down on the left hand side, we see standard deviation, sample variance, sample standard deviation. All of this, I have problems on them, so we're going to be practicing on those. Coming back here with the laws of probability, as you can see here, probability of A or B is the probability of A or the probability of B, minus the probability of both. So go over it a little bit and kind of have an idea, and Google some concept if you're not comfortable with some of them. And this is the probability of B given A. This is the probability. This is the conditional probability. B given A, probability that B occurs given the fact that A has occurred, etc. And probability, of course, is never greater than 1. It's always less than 1. So if you're solving a problem during the exam and you see a probability of 1.5, then you got something wrong completely. It's always less than 1. Big picture again, probability functions, probability density function, expected values. I used to enjoy my class on it. I can't remember some of it, but it was pretty fun finding it out. Normal distribution. So this is page 16 on the handbook. Some of it I'm not really going to get into. It probably requires a little bit more research than I need to, given the fact that probability is not, I don't see the application of it on my job, personally speaking. So electrical engineering wise, I specialize in power engineering, but this is just to pass the exam. I think there's some things you need, but a lot of this I don't see how you need it on a day-to-day, but who knows. There may be some electrical engineers out there that deal with it every day, but I don't, so I don't want to spend too much time on it that I need to, but you need it to pass the exam, so you need to know something about it. All right, hypothesis testing. I have no idea about this, so I'm not even gonna touch it. All right, so I guess that's industrial engineering. But so yeah, normal distribution, expected values, random values. So I have example problems on these. But I just wanted to kind of make this video to show you, to kind of give an introduction on it. I'm not minimizing probability by any means, but I guess it's just not something that I like so much. So I don't like to spend too much time on anything that I don't like. So but I will give you the essentials. I'll give you the basics, so you know what you got to do in order to pass the exam, and that's it. You move on. So go over it in your handbook and browse through it, and we're gonna do some sample problems and applying these formulas specifically. In that case, it will make a lot more sense. All right.